Attention passionate Seattle, SEAHAWKS fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle, SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. You've probably heard the latest buzz swirling around the Seahawks, and honestly, it's enough to make any Seahawks fan sit up and pay attention. The start of the 2025 NFL season hasn't gone exactly as planned for Seattle. Opening the year with a loss to the San Francisco 49ers, a team that's been a thorn in the side of the Seahawks for years now, is never what fans hope for. But more than just the result, what's really catching people's attention is the bigger picture, the strategic moves, the roster changes, and what this could mean for Seattle moving forward. And right now, one of the biggest headlines is the shocking trade involving Kenneth Walker, one of their key offensive players, heading over to the Las Vegas Raiders. Yes, you heard that right. The Seahawks have traded away Kenneth Walker, and this move could reshape their season in ways we might not have expected just a week ago. So, let's dig into what's really happening here. For those who follow the Seahawks closely, you know Kenneth Walker has been a crucial part of their offense since he was drafted. Over his 4 seasons in Seattle, he's amassed a solid 548 rushing yards and scored 24 touchdowns. That's no small feat, especially considering how crucial the running game has been for the Seahawks historically. But here's the catch. As of the start of the season, Walker's role has been diminishing. Once considered the clear lead back, he's now being outsnapped and outproduced by Zach Charbonnet, a younger player who Seattle seems to be grooming for a bigger role. Charbonnet, with his 47 yards over 12 attempts in the opener, is showing signs of being the new face of the Seahawks' ground attack. Meanwhile, Walker has been limited to just 20 yards over 10 carries, which raises questions about his future with the team. This shift isn't just about numbers. It's about the coaching staff's perception of who fits best into their vision for the team. The regime in Seattle clearly views Charbonnet as the future at the running back position, which naturally leads to the question, if Walker isn't fitting into that plan anymore, why keep him around? Trading him now makes a lot of sense from a strategic standpoint. It's about getting value for a player who might not be in the long-term plans and opening opportunities for younger talent to step up. That's where the Raiders come into play. The Las Vegas Raiders, fresh off a solid win over the New England Patriots, 2013, are looking to bolster their roster, especially at the running back position, which has been somewhat inconsistent. Despite their season-opening victory, the Raiders still have a lot of work to do to establish a sustainable, dominant ground game. That's why they're seen as a prime landing spot for Walker. The Raiders drafted Ashton Jeanty, a promising young back, but his debut wasn't exactly stellar. He rushed for 38 yards and a touchdown, but that came over 19 attempts, averaging just around 2 yards per carry. That's a clear sign that he's got potential, but he needs some help, some support in the form of a seasoned veteran who can take some pressure off him and help manage his workload. Enter Kenneth Walker. Walker's experience, his ability to break through tough defenses, and his proven production over the years make him a perfect complement to Jeanty. The Raiders need a dual-back system, a rotation that can keep their ground game fresh and effective throughout the season. Walker, with his proven track record, would bring an extra edge to their rushing attack. It's not just about adding a good player, it's about creating a balanced, versatile ground game that can wear down defenses week after week. And that's exactly what Walker can bring to the table. Now, let's take a step back and look at what this move could mean for the Seahawks. First off, losing Walker is a blow to their offensive identity. He's been a reliable and explosive part of their backfield. It's also a reflection of the team's evolving strategy, a desire to give more carries and opportunities to Charbonnet, who they see as the future. It's a bold move, but one that signals the Seahawks are not afraid to make tough decisions if it means building a stronger, more cohesive team in the long run. They're clearly prioritizing the development of their young talent and reshaping their roster based on what they see as the best fit for their system. For Seahawks fans, this is a moment of mixed feelings. On one hand, you're saying goodbye to a player who has given you many memorable moments on the field. On the other hand, you're also witnessing a team that's looking ahead, trying to position itself for sustained success. The NFL is a league of constant change, and sometimes that means making tough choices like trading away a key player. But it's also about the bigger picture, the vision that the coaching staff has for this team, and how they plan to compete at the highest level. And speaking of the bigger picture, it's worth noting that Seattle still has a lot of work to do to become the playoff contender they aspire to be. Their loss to the 49ers exposed some weaknesses, especially on the offensive line and in the running game. The team's defense showed resilience, but the offense needs to be more consistent, more explosive. The absence of a reliable ground game can hamper their ability to control the clock and wear down opponents late in games. That's why the addition of a player like Walker to another team like the Raiders isn't just a roster move. It's a strategic step in the ongoing chess match of NFL season planning. Now, let's consider the implications of this trade in the context of the AFC West and NFC West rivalries. The Raiders, with Walker, could suddenly become a more formidable force in the rushing department. That might add an extra layer of challenge for teams like the Chiefs, Chargers, or even the Broncos, depending on how the Raiders utilize him. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, this is a moment of regrouping. They've got young talent to develop, and while losing Walker stings, it also opens up opportunities for other players to step up. The coaching staff has shown a willingness to adapt and make bold moves, so fans can expect more surprises as the season unfolds. Looking ahead, the Seahawks' focus will be on how their other running backs step into the breach and how the team adjusts its offensive schemes without Walker. Will Charbonnet take on a bigger role? Will they look for additional help in the trade market? These are questions that will be answered in the coming weeks. But one thing is for sure, the Seahawks are not standing still. They're actively reshaping their roster, making strategic decisions to build a team that can contend not just for a playoff spot, but for a deep run in the postseason. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, adding Walker could be a game changer. His experience and production could help them establish a more potent rushing attack, something they've been striving for since last season. The Raiders have been trying to find the right balance on offense, and Walker's versatility and big play ability might just be the missing piece. Plus, with Ginty learning and adjusting to the NFL grind, Walker can provide that veteran leadership and reliability that the Raiders need to push toward the playoffs. In conclusion, folks, what we're seeing right now is a snapshot of a league that's constantly evolving. The Seahawks, after a tough start, are making strategic moves to shape their future, even if that means letting go of key players like Kenneth Walker. Meanwhile, the Raiders are seizing an opportunity to enhance their roster and become more competitive in their division. It's a fascinating dynamic, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds in the weeks ahead. Will the Seahawks bounce back? Will the Raiders capitalize on this move and make a deep playoff run? Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, the NFL never stops, and neither do we, bringing you the very latest, every step of the way. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Seattle Seahawks news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this trade? Are you surprised, excited, concerned? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Seahawks. This is a team that's always evolving, and your voice is part of that story. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, insights, and analysis on everything happening with the Seahawks and around the NFL. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and keep supporting your team through thick and thin. Because at the end of the day, it's our passion, our voices, and our love for the Seahawks that make this community so special. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.